is that I made a Tigers deck that I will now make again because it didn't save, which is great because you see me make it. That's hilarious. So I'm going to make a Tigers deck just for this video. It's called, the name of the deck is called Life is Cheap. And I came to that for a couple different reasons, and you'll explain why. So 2 cheap shots, they should go in any Tigers deck. Cheap shots are a way of neutralizing a big enemy, gaining momentum, gaining control. They're what make Tigers one of the top tier decks played correctly. So cheap shot, auto include, any kind of Tigers player should have 2 cheap shots. I don't think I'm telling you anything you didn't know. Shooting Stars, another great Tigers card. I mean, think about if you play Hearthstone. Think about if you had a Frostbolt, that if it killed and did it's a combination of Frostbolt and Mortal Coil for you Hearthstone players out there. So it does 3 damage, and if it kills a minion, you draw a card. I mean, auto include, probably the best 2-cost spell in the game. That's just off the top of my head. So that's an auto include. This is where the deck really starts to take shape and really starts to form itself. Now they said no legendaries, but you're going to have some epics to make this deck really sing. Not too many, but this guy, the deck is built around caretaking care of business, trademark. So caretaking, what he does is if you highlight him like this, whenever another friendly warrior is attacked, restore 2 health to your master. About 80% of the games I play with my main Tigers control deck, I finish back at 40 health. He is really ridiculous and really fun to play, and you'll see him in this deck. Thunder Fist, just one of those is really all that's needed. I'm going to put a Red Seer in because I might put 2 Red Seers in actually, just because of the high health pool. Actually, not just one, because they're no, I'll put 2 in there because he could be really powerful. I could save you some serious damage. In any control deck, I apologize. And you're going to hear some sounds in the background, like I'm in a Piccadilly's cafeteria, and I might be. You never know where I stream from next. In any decks I have, I auto-include 2 Bunny Bowmen. I just do. Number 1, not only is it a great card for early game clear, to gain pace, late game take out big threats, it synergizes with Cheap Shot. So let's say they have a 6/6 on the board, Bunny Bowman does 2, Cheap Shot, it's gone. So you can't beat that kind of value for that kind of cost. It has been nerfed by the great game developer, game designer of this game, and although it hurt my heart, he and I have since made up, and he will never take away the specialness of Bunny Bowman, and I hope he doesn't try. Now, this is the keystone to any early game control, and Kung Fu Panda Battle Destiny, is the Swine combo, and that is 2 Hungry Hogs and 2 Allergists. Allergist has won me many games by himself. Just a phenomenal card that, if you support him with healing and life, can dominate a game for you. And then you need 2 early game controls for those cards. You need 2 Safety Goats, and you need 2 Butterfingers. So that right there gives you your early game wall and control, and you could actually gives you life with Caretaken, gives you defense with Butterfinger, Safety Goats, gives you some offensive clears with Shooting Stars and Thunder Fist. Now what you need to do is build some support around those cards. The cards that I use to support those cards are going to be healer cards. So what I mean by that are, you want to put in one of her, Feline Flutist, restores health. You may want to put in a Desert Dealer. Desert Dealer helps you draw cards that you'll be able to draw. You never can have enough of those. You can put in a Crafty Cur, which synergizes really well with your Red Seers. Basically what he does is late game, the Red Seer is almost down. You put a Crafty Cur and he's back to a 2/9 or whatever you pump him up to. Mollified Medic adds health. Needles adds health. Gatherer adds health. So you're building a wall of Shifu, and you're healing it, and you're establishing control. And then with the last 5 cards, you need finishers. You need a way to win the game. And that comes with the bigger cards. Usually this is where my legendaries come in. But you put 2 nagging nannies in there, because that's just a big health pool that gets furious and mad. It's always good. 2 trample horns, because it's just a great card to attack and defend at the same time. And that leaves you with 1 card left. And you want 2 placid flowers. So I've got to take one of my cards out here. Let's see if my curve is looking pretty good. I'm going to take out the Crafty Cur, just because his well, no, I'm going to keep the Crafty Cur in there. Let's see. This is going to be a tough decision here, because I usually have two placid flowers, because they synergize with taking care of business trademark, because they dodge and you get the health gain, and I need that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a red. I'm going to get rid of a red seer and put a placid flower in place. The name of the deck is Life is Cheap, because it gains life and it has no legendaries. So it has a cheap build cost. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this Life is Cheap control deck. So there's a couple of things you've probably never seen before, unless you watch my videos, which I highly suggest you do. Is a control Tigress with no legendaries in this current meta of complete aggro. Let's see if it can be done. Can it be done? I think it can, but we're going to find out. So the collector is already started. I'm not going to do the basic Tigress deck. And we're going to see if we can play this deck and show you a control deck in the current meta. Hopefully we get some good competition here where they're very aggressive, and the chances are they're going to be very aggressive. So it's a monkey deck, so we're going to go ahead and play that. So right there, a very good opening hand. We're not going to need the cheap shot right now. We're going to keep Hungry Hog in there. And there we have Nagging Nanny. But yes, the question I get is, everybody runs aggro. And they do. But you can build a good control deck. And I'd be willing to say that with this deck, with these cards, and yes, I think there are 4 epics, that's all, you can do very well. I don't need to attack his face because I'm trying to keep my health pool high. I don't need to trade. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw out my Butterfingers. I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to keep her in what I call, or him, and I call a lurk position, trademark. And what that means, I don't commit to attack or defense. I just kind of leave it out there. Honestly, my hope is that my opponent would just leave it alone and do that. Trade attack for board control, which you never want to do as a side note. And what that's done now is it has given me a really nice opening here. And I am going to just establish the Wall of Shifu trademark. And some of you ask, what's the Wall of Shifu? And you probably know if you watch my thing. The Wall of Shifu is very simply a board filled with taunters on my side that all synergize, that control and choke out the opponent. Now here we go. So taking care of business is on the deck. We can do a couple different things here, but we are going to simply do this. Because what we're going to do is we're clearing out his minions. I want to start to get my board full. Now I can put my pig into guard, which will then, he will get hit and will heal my Butterfingers back up to full health. So the wall of Shifu is starting to build and coalesce. This is very common in, now he is trying to take stock of what's going on. He's pulled back into guard, which is not a bad idea. What we're going to do is we are going to run this into here. We are going to play the nagging nanny. And we are going to play some guard here. We're going to end our turn and see how this plays out. We will see if he attacks or how he progresses past this point. So here we go. So he has the minions right now that could overwhelm our side. Now this is a common thing, I said, where they're going to try to pound you. Now he's playing smart. He's pulling him back in defense. So we have a little situation where we are in a throwdown, if you will. So what I'm going to do is just do this. Get my guy nice and furious. I'm going to believe that my Placid Plower will dodge. But in doing so, I'm going to just go ahead and take that card out. I'm just going to end my turn right there. Take out some of his threats. Continue to control the board. My Placid Plower is the key here. And what I'm playing against is a starter deck, which can be also very viable because it's very aggressive. It's almost built to a mid-range with these big cards in his hand. He has a limited amount of threats, but those threats can be very devastating. And I do not have any of my scrolls that could then deal with them right now. Strength of 1. Now he's going to try to run through my Placid Plower. Puts him in guard. Playing a very smart game, actually. Placid Plower did not dodge, which is something you want your Placid Plower to do. Okay, got another one. So we are going to play our healer. We are going to take out their big threat. We are going to take out their threats, control the board. Systematically work through their what could be threatening pieces. And one of the finishing moves with this deck that make it so effective is Tigress's ultimate ability, where she adds 3 attack across the board. So if you can build just a wall up, that becomes your finisher. Alright, that'll help. Okay, so we're going to put this here.
Congratulations.
Okay, so she kind of, my opponent kind of felt like it was going nowhere. I had control. I was about to put down a card that helps me draw cards that would have given me better threats and would have won. Now, when you run a control game, you see right there that it's not always fast. It's very, make the right decisions. Excuse me. And you win. So we're playing one more here, and for the video, and see a different options. Hopefully, see some different gameplay there. They're going to quit a lot on you with control decks. They're going to give up because it's just tough. So this is a person, Fuzzy Panda, that was legendary last month because now she's ranked 15, just like I am. You restart at 16. So this will be a good test of the deck. So we're going to get rid of those 2 cards. Going against the Tigress, which can be difficult because of the cheap shot, but we're also a Tigress, so we have our own cheap shots as well. That's a card we really want to get. That is going to give us a huge advantage late game when we have a wall of Shifu out, hopefully. I don't particularly want to bring this card out because I believe my opponent will just run through it with a cold tooth or really anything at this point to run through it. I'd like to keep her with my allergist with some protection. But I want to get board presence out there, and I have a lot of high-cost minions in my hand, so I'm kind of stuck. I mean, that's where I'd want to throw a safety goat in there and deal with it, so she's going to clear it out. That's where you want to put something else in there, but I just didn't have anything. So a happy hippo. Interesting play. I am not going to waste my Bunny Bowman on that card. I'm just going to clear it out because I'm sure there are bigger threats coming than a Hungry Hippo or Happy Hippo. Next turn I'll be able to put some pressure on the board. I've got to decide what the good pressure is because of the KO. I'm not drawing any low-cost cards or any of my scrolls, which would have been nice here at any point. I'm pretty sure that they have a KO, so I'm just going to go ahead and clear that out. Let it absorb the cheap shot, because I have other cards in here that I want to use. Unfortunately, the scrolls that I put in here are not coming immediately to me. And with control in the state of the game, she's getting the scrolls, I'm not. So it's unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes. She is exhausting her clears on my minions. She's looking for her ultimate. There we go. I can stabilize a little bit. I'm going to put this card out. And I'm trying to draw out the cheap shot. I know it's there. And this is sometimes how it's going to be. You're going to have a hard time sometimes establishing a wall. It's going to take patience. It's going to take perseverance. But you want to build that wall and grab control of the game.
You're testing my patience.
And this is where the value of Bunny Bowman comes in, you see. Big card right there. Bunny Bowman's going to clean that up nicely for me. And I'm just not drawing the cards I need right now at this time. Let's see. I'll put this here. Just to put some kind of stabilization on the board. Should be hard for my opponent to clear out unless they continue to have all the scrolls while I don't. Okay, Karate Mom. I just need some of the scrolls I have in my deck. I'm just not getting them. But what I can do here is clear out some of the issues. And right now, slowly, the wall of Shifu is starting to form against a very aggressive deck. It's not over yet, obviously. I still have not, there's the cheap shots, I still have not drawn any of my scrolls, of which I have 5 really important ones that I would like to get at any time now. Just not getting them. So, not much you can do about that, really. So what we're going to do is just clear out threats. Much as I don't want to do this, unfortunately, with the cards that I've drawn, that's just where I'm at. Oh, don't want to do that. I've not got the KOs, the stars. So, and my opponent has. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Did gain 2 health. My opponent is running out of cards. Now would be a good time to draw some cards on my part, and I'm just not. So, it's just one of those things. We start to build a little bit of the wall of Shifu here. He's used 2 cheap shots, so now we can use that. Now when he attacks, if our Placid Plower does not get hit with yet another one of his scrolls, which he seems to have, and I have not had any of mine still, when he dodges, I should heal.
You're testing my
It really all comes down to, that's why I have the Placid Plower in the deck, to dodge, to heal. So here we go. There's a heal 2. And now he's got to make some business decisions. There's heal 2. Does he continue to attack and leave himself open to a counterattack while missing and healing me? There, he hit there, but I still healed 2 and he lost a minion. There he took 3 damage and I healed 2. So I healed a lot there. This would be nice to draw a scroll, any scroll. And the fates just are not with me right now. But we will do that. We will put pressure. And now he's got to make decisions. Does he keep on this assault, or does he slow down a little bit and realize that I need to put some defense in? And the wall of Shifu is built. See, there we go. He had to stop and say, okay, hold on. Hold on. All right. That's what I'm talking. I still have not drawn a scroll. I need to double check. I thought I had them in here. But apparently I do not. Alright. So we do not need to do anything here until we draw a scroll. We can clear out his threats and pick him apart a little bit. And end our turn here. So we're in no hurry. Wall of Shifu is built. I just need to get any one of the scrolls I have in here that Tigress needs to execute his biggest threat. I'm just not getting it. I was okay with that. He's almost out of cards. He's got to hold back his defense. I just need a scroll. And they're in here. Just got to grab them. 15 cards in, no scrolls. It's very odd. And I have now controlled the game. I'm healing. And there's nothing really he can do about this. He is now having to play defense, and you know he doesn't want to. I am just snake bit. Okay, so we got a card with pushback. That is exactly what we need there. So what we will do is we will push back. Break his guard. And there it is. Life is cheap against another legendary Tigers player that was very aggressive, had the best draw, still ended up building the wall of Shifu, still ended up healing back up to almost 28, or almost 30 health. No legendaries. You can do it. Just follow this build, and you too can control without a legendary. Shifu the cards. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoy the video. Follow me on Twitter. Please like and subscribe. I've had 4,000 views at the time of this filming, and I'm humbled and honored. I want to keep making more. Thank you very much. All right. It's fun.